Good afternoon. Today is March the 8th, and this is a meeting of the Cities and County Subcommittee. I'd like to welcome everyone, members and guests. The committee will be in order. Ms. Anderson, take the roll, please.
Representative Alexander. Representative Hale. Here. Representative Holtzclaw. Present. Representative McKenzie. Representative Slater. Here. Representative Wright. Here. Chairman Crawford. Chairman Moon. Present. Chairman Moon, you have a quorum. Thank you. Seeing none, we will take up the calendar. The first calendar item is House Bill 491 by Deputy Speaker Johnson. Sir, we have a motion and a second. Deputy Speaker Johnson, you're recognized on House Bill 491, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 491 comes to me from the mayor of Clarksville, Mayor Joe Pitts, who happens to be with us today. A number of us served with Mayor Pitts. This bill deals with the Tourism Development Authority Act, which authorizes local governments to establish tourism development authorities. And it authorizes them to issue bonds for projects that deal with tourism. And under the present law, it would include, without limitation, visitor centers, recreational facilities, greenways. And what this deal does, Mr. Chairman, it just simply includes performing arts centers and museums.
Very well. Members have any questions for the sponsor? Seeing no hands, is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we are voting on House Bill 491. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The ayes prevail.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee.
This bill moves on to the next available calendar in local government. The next bill is 1197 by Chairman Williams. I do not see Chairman Williams. So without objection, we'll roll this to the heel. Next item on the calendar is House Bill 1264 by Chairman Hawk. We've received an email. House Bill 1264 is off notice. Next bill is House Bill 1058 by Chairman Vaughn. We've had a request to roll this to the final calendar's objection. Hearing no objection, House Bill 1058 is rolled to the final calendar. Next bill on the calendar is House Bill 763 by Vice Chairman Eldridge. We have a motion and a second. Vice Chairman Eldridge, you're recognized on House Bill 763, sir.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. This bill comes to us from the Tennessee County Officials Association and County Clerks Association, and it's a cleanup bill. It's removing some requirements for the county clerks to issue and endorse certain orders and certificates that have been registered in the clerk's office, and it deletes requirements that the county clerks endorsement on orders and certificates being required for the mayor to issue warrants for an amount. It's pretty much taking care of putting it kind of where things are right now. They don't have to post some financial reports from the county. That's already being done in the county financial offices. So this is just taking that and stopping some duplication.
Questions from the members?
And one other thing,
yes,
a lot of the clerks are not doing it anyway. They're not aware of it, so it's just putting everything in order.
So what you're doing is you're actually putting in code what is taking place.
What's being done in practice, yes.
Are there any other questions, other comments? Representative Hale, you're recognized, sir.
So the clerks are good with what we're doing, right?
Absolutely. And sorry, Chairman. They're the ones that asked for this to be done.
All right, any other questions? Is there objection to the question? Seeing no objection, we're voting on House Bill 763. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Ayes prevail. House Bill 763 moves to the next available calendar of local government.
Thank you, Chairman and committee.
The next bill is calendar item 6, House Bill 346 by Representative Sparks. We have a motion and second on House Bill 346. Representative Sparks, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members. Members, you know, I know this is a tough bill to try to get passed. And I can tell you why I'm kind of passionate about this bill. I've shared it with a few lawmakers, especially some of the freshmen. When I was a much younger county commissioner, I would notice top officials get a big pay raise, like a $10,000 pay raise. And I can remember trying to advocate for the guys at solid waste that hardly made anything. It was hard for me to get them a quarter pay raise. It's a true story. Quarter pay raise, couldn't get them a quarter pay raise. And so I remembered I noticed the pay raise, so I brought it up to the mayor, and he said, well, it's a state mandate. Okay, you always hear people talk about state mandates. Well, if you notice, they'll never talk about this bill right here. So when I got up here, it's one of the first bills I introduced, and I was shocked that the bill would have saved my locals $1.7 million. If this bill would have passed when I first presented it in 2011, it would have saved the taxpayers over $22 million. That's why I'm passionate about this bill. And to be honest, I was also shocked, and I won't say the lobbyist's name. He's now deceased. But I did go to his funeral, and I thought about this bill because that lobbyist that taxpayers paid for didn't advocate for drug addiction. He didn't advocate for the overcrowding of our schools. He didn't advocate for the infrastructure problems. He wanted the pay raises to top officials. And I was always remember what Christ said. He says, not the healthy need a physician, but those that are sick. We got a lot of sick folk in our district, a lot of hurts. We're losing a lot of employees. I don't think we lose the top brass. I noticed Shelby County recently voted themselves a 20% pay raise, jumping their sheriff's salary from $164,000 to basically $200,000 a year, more than what we make. It's shocking. So that's why I present you this bill today. It is an unfunded mandate to the locals. I know I've got it's a Hail Mary pass, try to get this bill passed, but just want to ask for your indulgence in this. And to the freshman lawmakers, this is why I run this bill every year. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Sponsor. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we are voting on House Bill 346. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. No. The noes prevail. We move to the next item on the calendar.
Thank you, Chairman. See you next year.
House Bill 1012 by Chairman Grills. Do I have a motion? Motion and a second on House Bill 1012. Mr. Sponsor, I believe you do have an amendment.
That is correct, sir. 4596.
That's correct, 4596. Is there a motion on the amendment? We have a motion and a second on the amendment. You're recognized on the amendment, Chairman Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This deals with the compensation for constables. They have not had a fee increase in over 10 years. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are changing the fee schedule for constables, just making a minor adjustment. They have not had an adjustment since, I believe, it was 2012. And we are also creating a mechanism by which county commissions, if they adopt, they can give some compensatory fees to help their constables out if they feel like there's a need for those in each different county.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Chairman Crawford, you're recognized on the amendment, sir.
Thank you. Looking at the amendment there, I just want to make sure we get this on the record.
Yes,
These
sir.
fees are caps. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
not correct? They don't have to pay that top dollar amount. That's just the cap of it.
You're recognized, Chairman Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding that this will be the minimum.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the amendment? Seeing none, is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we're voting on Amendment 4596. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. The amendment passes. The amendment does make the bill, doesn't it?
That's correct.
So we're back on the bill. We have a question on the bill. We are voting on House Bill 1012 and the amendment. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The ayes prevail. House Bill 1012 and the amendment moves to the next available calendar of local government. We're going to take a bill out of
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
out of order. It's House Bill 1197 by Chairman Williams. Is there a motion? We have a motion and a second on House Bill 1197.
Thank you, Chairman and members. This bill reconstitutes a sports authority in the state of Tennessee. Currently has 13 members, all appointed by the mayor of that city. The new makeup of the board would still retain 3 of the mayor's appointments, and the rest would be by the General Assembly. I'm happy to answer any questions the members might have.
At this time, we've had a request for testimony, and we'll go out of session and allow Monica Farson to testify. If you'll come forward, ma'am, to the center, and if you'll give your name for the record, you'll have 3 minutes once we go out of session. Chairman Williams.
Thank you. I just want to say that Monica's father was an absolute great Sunday school teacher. She and I have known each other. She's a graduate of Carson Newman, and I'm a big fan. So thank you.
Outstanding. We will go out of session. Ms. Farson, you are recognized, ma'am, for testimony. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Moon, committee members. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. My name is Monica Faulknesson. For the past 7 years, I've served as the executive director of the Metro Nashville Sports Authority, the owner and landlord of Nissan Stadium, Bridgestone Arena, First Horizon Park, Geodis Park, and the Ford Ice Centers. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the state for its role in the development of professional sports in Tennessee. The Sports Authority Act of 1993 was a game changer. In it, the state agreed to facilitate the acquisition and construction of sports facilities, primarily by allowing local governments to capture certain state tax revenues. Without this action by the state, we would not be where we are today. In the act, the state noted 3 key benefits of building sports facilities. Number 1, they could attract and bring professional teams to the state. Number 2, they could enhance the state's image as a sports center. And number 3, they could encourage and foster economic development. By the state's own standard, the Metro Sports Authority is a success story and a great example of what can be accomplished with the spirit of collaboration. We've been named the #1 sports city and the best minor league baseball town in America. Our facilities have hosted the NFL Draft, the Stanley Cup Finals, CMA Music Festivals, and the Women's Final Four. We've seen Bridgestone Arena ranked #1 in the world in concert tickets sold. We've opened the largest soccer-specific stadium in the U.S. and Canada. And today we welcome back droves of SEC basketball fans to kick off March Madness. But as we consider the development of sports facilities, I do believe it's important to acknowledge the role of the local community. The Sports Authority Act tells us that authorities are needed in individual communities, and I agree. From infrastructure and debt service to zoning, lease, and multi-use considerations, the development and maintenance of sports venues is an inherently local function that I believe should be locally controlled. The Sports Authority and Metro are inextricably linked. Metro funds our salaries and administrative expenses and backstops our debt. We differ from the airport, hospital, and convention center authorities in that all of our revenue is pledged to debt service. The Sports Authority is a public instrumentality of the metropolitan government. Disengaging it by appointing control will not result in a more effective local authority at the end of the day. The sport and entertainment landscape in Nashville and really across the state is drastically different today than it was 30 years ago when the act was passed. We're really proud of what has been accomplished with the support of so many, and we look forward to what the future holds. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your testimony. At this time, does any of the members have questions for the speaker? Seeing none, then we will go back into session. Thank you for your testimony, and thank you for the outstanding job you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're back into session, and Chairman Williams, you're recognized back on the bill, 1197.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman members. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Obviously, this is a work in progress. I look forward to working with Monica and stakeholders as well. They are doing a great job. However, the reason for this bill is, as you are well aware, the state permitted the issuance of $500 million worth of bonds last year, of which the state has a fiduciary interest in that, and that's the reason for this bill.
Right,
Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Representative McKenzie, you're recognized on the bill, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And to that point, I think your last statement is absolutely correct in that they're doing an outstanding job. As I listen to the testimony, it's amazing how far Nashville's come since they set this sports authority up. I mean, it's the most unkept secret is that we will be the next city that hosts a Major League Baseball team. So it's just amazing the amount of work that they've done. So I guess I would say, and they've done it, you talk about the debt, but I don't think they've allowed any debt to go bad or left or right. So why are we even considering changing up what has undoubtedly been a boom for all of Tennessee and really put Tennessee on the map by getting these major league teams here in Nashville area?
Chairman Williams.
Thank you. It's a good question. You stated in my last comment was a good one, and I'll just repeat it. The state has issued $500 million worth of bonds for the Titan Stadium. In every instance of every professional stadium that happens in the state of Tennessee, there is some kind of taxation opportunity for state sales tax to stay there to ensure that the investments made by Metro and the state are preserved. And so in this instance, it mainly was an outshoot by her comment and yours. They have been operating pretty good up until this point, but there has been no seat at the table for the state. And because of the issues with bonds, I think it's absolutely necessary.
Representative McKenzie for a follow-up.
Thank you for that. And you know, as I said, though, but they've also done an outstanding job managing that debt. And so my next question or kind of comment to what I think I heard both of you all saying and the chair is an outstanding job is being done. And with all due respect to the leader, she has managers. You know, she has people above her, the sports authority, that manage her operation. She's their one employee, and she manages, you know, the interests of the sports authority. So, you know, if she's doing an outstanding job, it's in part and parcel that the sports authority, as constituted and has been constituted, is doing an outstanding job. So I guess, you know, it's like folks talking about us trading Derrick Henry, and it's insane for us to be considering that, in my humble opinion, just like it's insane for us to be considering messing up what looks like to be a Super Bowl caliber outfit right now. And that's what this would be. This would make this political from across the state. As we say, we got 3 stars on our state for a good reason. East Tennessee is not like Middle Tennessee, and Middle Tennessee is not like West Tennessee, but we're one great state. And to understand all the things that go on in East Tennessee, I think might be a little difficult for someone from West Tennessee to fully embrace that. But that's what we'll end up with by making this such really it's going to be a partisan organization, political and partisan organization. So thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Williams. Any closing comments? Any other questions? Any other comments? Seeing none, hearing none, is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we're voting on House Bill 1197. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. No. The ayes prevail. House Bill 1197 moves to the next available calendar on local government.
Thank you, Chairman and members.
If you'd like to be recorded as a no, please see the clerk. Next bill, we'll go back in order. Next bill is item 8, House Bill 1134 by Representative McCallum. We have a motion and a second. You're recognized on the bill, sir.
I had to make sure my mic was on. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the committee. If it would be all right with the committee, I would like to roll this bill to the last calendar. I believe it's a good bill, but we've got a language change that's going to make it an even better bill, and I'd like to have the opportunity to roll it a week.
Is there objection to rolling this to the final calendar? Hearing no objection, House Bill 1134 is rolled to the final calendar.
Thank you, Chairman and members.
Item 9 on our calendar, House Bill 699 by Representative Glenn. Is there a motion? We have a motion and a second. Representative Glenn, you're recognized on House Bill 699, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. House Bill, let me get my number right, 699 here. It was brought to me by my local county commissioners, and what they would like to see is this bill that will not allow you to serve on the county commission and the city council, the city council and county commission at the same time. The belief is that those two are incompatible with each other and sometimes have a direct conflict of interest. And so by passing this bill, this will allow a member of the community only to serve one body. And it only affects those communities of over 200,000. It will not have any direct effect on any of our rural communities. So that's the bill in a nutshell.
Thank you. Representative McKenzie, you're recognized on the bill, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. By the float in his voice, is this your first time before this committee?
Representative Glenn?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Representative McKenzie. No, it is not, but thank you for calling it out.
Master Sergeant is welcome anytime in this committee.
Thank you, Mr.
Is there any questions for the sponsor? Thank you for bringing this bill. It's a common sense bill. Any other questions or comments? Is there objection to the question? Hearing no objection, we're voting on House Bill 699. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. The ayes prevail. House Bill 699 moves to the next available calendar of local government.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee. Except you, Sam.
Out of order. Next bill is calendar item 10 and our last bill, House Bill 90 by Chair Lady Moody. We have a motion. We have a motion and a second. You're recognized on House Bill 90.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. What this bill will do, it will prohibit local governments, which is your city, county, and metropolitans, from expending funds for the purpose of assisting a person in obtaining an abortion, including expending funds as part of a health benefit plan or for travel to a state where abortion is legal.
Members, you've heard the explanation or the questions. Representative McKenzie, you're recognized on House Bill 90.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the sponsor, is there any other prohibition in all of the state law that tells local government how they can manage and direct their own employees?
Chairman Moody.
You know, I don't know, but I know it's dealing with taxpayer money, and we certainly, our state constitution gives us that authority, and that's why I'm bringing it.
Representative McKenzie.
Is that a question I'm making go out of session and ask legal?
For what purpose, Representative McKenzie?
Just to find out, what this bill looks like at its face will do is to instruct our local governments on how they can manage and direct their own employees. So the state's telling the cities and counties and municipalities how they can manage and direct their own employees.
We can go out of session. Mr. Garrett, State Legal Services, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Doug Garrett with the Office of Legal Services. Representative McKenzie, I'll have to take a deeper look at that, more of an in-depth dive to check to see exactly what the ramifications are. Counties are created pursuant to the Constitution, as we've discussed in this committee during the course of this session. Cities and municipalities are not, so there are different variables involved that again, I would just need to look at, and I'll get back with you before the end of the day if that's okay.
Representative McKenzie.
I'll wait till we go back in session.
All right. Any other questions for legal while we are out of session? Hearing none, we're back into session, and Chair Lady Moody, you're recognized on the bill.
All right, thank you again, and again, it is just as taxpayer money that's being expended for this. That's why we're bringing it on their behalf, and I would appreciate your vote.
Representative McKenzie, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, with that explanation from legal and the ambiguity on that, you know, I think the answer may come back. I don't know, as legal doesn't know totally, that it may be unconstitutional. So I just really think it would be good if we could actually, if we could roll this a week so that when we're voting on it, we know full and clearly what we're voting on. This won't be enacted for a long time, so I don't see an issue with that. I would just like to get as much of our information to prevent us from just having, you know, crazy expenditures of funds when we can find answers out prior to passing a bill like this.
Question to the sponsor. What's your pleasure?
Well, I serve at your pleasure.
We're hearing your bill, Madam Chair.
I understand. Of course, my desire would be, could you pass it on to full if we have the votes and not assuming anything, and then have the answer during the week, and if I need to take it off notice or whatever we need to do. But I serve at your pleasure.
Well, you're in control of your bill. So is there any other questions? Representative McKenzie.
Thank you. And I would hope that we consider that. So another question is, aren't benefits traditionally considered part of the compensation package? And with that, the state law allows preemption of charter provisions except to those that relate to compensation of municipal personnel. So again, kind of back to that same point, I think the state law says an exception would be for municipal personnel, and this bill clearly changes the compensation of municipal personnel.
Chair Lady Moody.
I would just ask for passing the bill today to the full, if I have the votes again, and we can bone up on things then.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just one last
final question.
Thank you. And I really appreciate your indulgence, Mr. Chair. And so with these things that I think we brought up today, you know, I think as we kind of kicking the can down the road on this one, passing it means something. And if we have clear ambiguity, as I think we do on this one, it's kind of a, you know, it's I won't call it an assault. I don't want to use any drastic words, but it's kind of impinging, or, you know, having on our constitutional duties to vet these bills, that what we were brought here to do. So again, I would just ask that we not consider this bill today, but if we had to, that we would not move this on. So thank you.
And thank you, Representative McKenzie. We are currently considering the bill. We haven't voted on it, but it's under consideration. It's on the floor before us. Is there any other comments or questions? Is there objection to the question? Representative McKenzie? Do you object? Okay. All right. Here. I guess I can't. Well, no, it's not too late, but I'm putting the question. I asked if there's objection to the question, so your okay, so I hear no objection. All in favor of House Bill 90 moving forward, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. No. The ayes prevail. House Bill 90 moves forward to the next available calendar of local government. If you wish to be recorded as a no, please record.
Thank you, committee and Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. This completes today's calendar. At this time, do we have any announcements? Hearing none, without objection, this meeting is. Well, we made that announcement about 3 weeks ago on the floor of the House. Next Wednesday at 3:30, the final calendar of cities and counties will be heard. The final calendar. The ship has sailed. I'm putting your bill on notice at 3:30 today. So without objection, then this meeting will be adjourned. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned. About 20. We'll